What's up, guys? Welcome into the Packers Total Access pregame show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us, 865-658-5824. We're flying solo for the time being. I guarantee you, Tim just rolled over like the parents in Home Alone, right? When they realized they were late for the flight. Emilio was just in here. He had head hair kicking, and my man was getting ready to go throw some coffee on. So they'll be joining us here momentarily. As a matter of fact, Tim looks like he's on his way in right now. But before he joins us here, let's do this. Let's give a quick shout out to today's sponsors, and that's the good folks over at Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. Wisconsin-based since 1992, specializing in Packers tickets. They're Wisconsin's largest ticket source with offices next to Lambeau and in Milwaukee. Click on the link in the video description that'll send you over to their website, theticketking.com, where you can register for free as a customer and go ahead and start shopping for your Packers tickets. Again, that's Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. All right, so we'll let Tim join when he's ready here. I believe my man lights, camera, action. There it is. Tim,
here's a guy.
You ain't going to believe this, man. Emilio just rolled through here, too.
What?
Man. Said he's getting some coffee going. I can't believe it, man.
Emilio, nice. Love it. Pregame. Let's go.
Got to get the whole crew together for this one, no doubt, man. We got some news already starting to kind of trickle in. I'm just going to jump right into it, and then we'll try to get the finalized information, if you will. Bill Huber tweeted out, Evan Williams is on the field as players trickle out of the locker room to get loosened up. And then he had attached another tweet to that, said Jaire Alexander is stretching with teammates. Now, a few minutes later, we see Bill Huber tweeted out, Matt LaFleur, Jaire Alexander, and Derek Ansley talking. Jeff Hafley joined and hugged Alexander. So the coach is out there talking to Jai on the field. And then you guys know, I feel like Tom Silverstein is really, really close to the Packers organization. When he tweets stuff out, it really does perk my ears up a little bit. I feel like it's pretty close to the front office when you get information. It, maybe reading too much into it, but Tom said Packers cornerback Jaire Alexander and safety Evan Williams are taking part in normal pre-game stretching activities with their teammates, which would seem like a good sign that they are playing today. Inactives will be out in a few minutes. So we'll keep coming through Twitter and see if we can find those inactives. I know the chat is already absolutely lit up. Randy Steen with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, it will be the day Jai drops under 50% in the last 36 if he misses today. So we got to keep him above 50%, Tim. We want him out there on the field today, man. I think what do you think here? Just as I get ready to comb back through the news feed here on Twitter, do you think these two guys are playing? It kind of seems like we're leaning that direction, right?
I think Evan Williams is probably going to go. Fingers crossed for Jaire, right? We can't, like Randy said here, we can't afford to have him under 50%. I'd like to see him closer to, like
65%.
65%.
Somewhere up in that range. So hopefully he's good to go. It's a good day for football. Hopefully the muscles are feeling good. Nobody's cramping up or anything, and they're good to go. But man, if those two are on the field today, I feel sorry for Caleb Williams. I really do.
Well, go ahead and break out the pity party because our very own Paul Brettel just tweeted out Packers inactives: Robert Rochelle, Catano Ladapo, Travis Glover, Kobe Wooden, Alexander, and Williams are both active. So. Jaire Alexander and Evan Williams will be playing today. That is obviously great news, man. And here's the thing, too, Tim. If for some reason you do get up to an early lead, I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but if you do, don't be afraid to pull them off the field a little early, right? You know what I mean? Let's
absolutely.
So,
and I guess we got our answer on Robert Rochelle, right? So they had a roster spot, so they activated him. That's fine. But it didn't necessarily mean that it was him playing instead of Jaire. So good to see that Evan Williams and Jaire Alexander active today for the Bears. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's great news, obviously. And Randy, thank you so much for the super chat, pal. We appreciate you. He's staying above 50% today, my man. That's great news. It's a damn shame we even have to have that conversation, but that's the reality of it, right? So just got to roll with the punches. Here's the Green Bay Packers tweeted out this video in the 3-1-2 as you see the guys walking into the stadium here. Enigbare. Let's see who else we got here that we can recognize. I think that might have been Tucker Kraft with the hoodie there. Some big old boys on that team. And I would never – there's X. X might be the coolest cat on the planet. There's
E.J. Money, Josh Jacobs, Kenny Clark, Romy Rome in the house. Watch your mouth.
Romeo looks like he's got a $13 fit on the entire outfit, $13, and I absolutely love it, man.
Yep, I'm here for it.
Yeah. iRock in the chat says, like the stream, chat. Go, Pat, go. Appreciate you, iRock. If y'all would take a quick second, hit that like button. We appreciate y'all making us part of your pregame festivities. We're going to dive into pretty much all the info that we kind of covered the last couple of days. Make sure we didn't miss anything. We'll keep our eyes on Twitter as well and bring you some updates from that in real time too. Now, there was someone else walking into the stadium earlier too, as the Chicago Bears tweeted this out, and that is Caleb Williams walking in. Someone had quoted, I think it was Jacob Morley, and said he basically looked like he was ready to take a flight as soon as this game was over. Like he just wanted to tell us. So it's been a rough year on Caleb. He had a short spurt there where he played pretty solid. We'll see what he does today against a pretty good Packers pass defense, and see if he gets it going or not. Man, we've kind of talked about what we feel like the game plan should be. I was listening to other people that cover the Packers, John Anderson and all the guys over at Green Bay Game Day or their pregame show, and everyone's talking, just run the football. Don't get cute, just run the damn football, right? That seems to be the consensus around the league. But how we feeling here, Tim? I want to just kind of test check the temperature here a second. How do you feel?
Like Greg Rice right here in the chat.
S for sucks. I'm talking about the shirt, the S on the shirt. Love it. How you feeling here, man? I'm not asking for a prediction. I'm just simply asking how you feeling here on game day now that we got Evan Williams, Jair back? You like our chances here against the Bears, right?
I do, and it's a get-right game for this team. We dropped a divisional game going into the bye. It's important to come out of the bye. We're pretty doggone healthy at this point coming out of a bye week. Good to have Ja and Evan back on the field. I think we get the dub, and we increase our playoff appearance chances to the 80th percentile with a victory today. And I'm not going to predict, but I'm feeling good this morning. I really do. I think we're going to get the dub. And again, who cares what the final score is, even if it's a grinder, and we squeak out another Brandon McMoney field goal for the victory. I don't care, whatever it is. Let's just go back to Titletown with the dub.
Yeah. Well, we got Emilio joining us now. I believe he's here in the studio, right? Emilio, man, what are you doing up before noon, bro?
Yeah. I feel like I missed out on a couple days there, so I gotta get up for the game early, and me and the missus are going to a little show after the game tonight, so nice. I'll be MIA for post game, but I'm sure it's going to be a good one. Like Tim said, don't want to make a call, but I think we need this one, get it on the right track. Don't want to start 0-3 in the division, and keep Matt's 10 wins against the Bears straight going. So I think that, we're in good shape. Everyone's, got a good mindset. I think we just got to come back and hammer them.
That's right. And here we've got some more information coming down the wire here, as Andy Herman tweeted out. Montez Sweat is active for the Bears. So their complete inactive list is Tevin Jenkins, Kyron Amagaji, Dominique Robinson, and Amir Speed. Now, you guys know earlier in the week we covered the fact that Jaquan Brisker, their safety, is not going to play. He actually went on IR after this tweet here, so they're going to be without him as well. So it seems like the Packers, it's like two ships passing in the night, man. We're getting a little healthier, and they're a little banged up, which you still can't overlook them, man. You can't overlook them, that's for sure. So, how you feeling about this game, man? Me and Tim's talked about it pretty much all week long. Want to get your take on it as we're getting ready for kickoff, man. You feeling pretty good about our chances here against the Bears in Chicago?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, Matt's got their number. I think he needs to continue to have that. We need to keep it to 11 games straight against the Bears. I mean, just keep their morale down. I think that it's a mental game, half of it, for them to play the Packers, trying to get past it. And the fact that they had, we had 2 weeks to get ready for them. It just needs to happen. We need to go out and show up this game, keep the momentum going for the rest of the season. It's going to be a great way to start the second half. Offense needs to put up points, and I think half needs to just keep that defense. I liked our number around 17 earlier in the year. I think we need to get back to that and play fast, physical.
Yeah, and for me, you guys know I've talked about this a lot. Let's cut down on the first down passes, right? Let's just continue to stay ahead of the schedule. Don't put yourself in those second and longs, which typically lead to third and longs. You get a shot. Listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't throw on first down at all. It's the best down to throw on. There's no two ways about it. Just looking at the game situation, what's the score at the time? How is the game flowing? That should determine whether or not you're going to take those shot plays. And for me, it was like against Detroit, you really did kind of put yourself behind the 8 ball a little bit, trying to pass too much on first down, where you knew the weather was a factor. You seen the receivers struggling to catch it. Like, let's just lean on this run a little bit more. And it seems like the chat pretty much agrees with us here too, as Roger Davis says, hammer that run. Yes, sir. That's what we're hoping for sure. Everyone else in the chat, Prince says, Emilio found a comb, confirmed. There you go, man. Actually got the comb through the hair this morning. Looking good, man. Looking sharp. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's got to grow up sooner or later, don't we, Emilio? Not really. No, we don't have.
No.
All good in the chat says we will crush them 31-6. All right, so we got our first prediction in the chat. Roger Davis, that stadium pick was taken in the fourth quarter last week. Love to see it. And then Prince says, so we start the second half with Musgrave and Morgan on IR and Lloyd in the 21-day window, but status for the rest of the year unclear. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. And, when I say the Packers are healthy, they're definitely healthier than the Bears are, right? And like when you mentioned Musgrave and Morgan, if you were to say, okay, how important, how vital are they to the Green Bay Packers winning here in 2024? They are not in the top half of my list. I don't know about you guys, right? Because Sean Ryan has played better. Now, if Sean Ryan begins to stink up the joint again because now Jordan Morgan isn't breathing down his neck, that's really going to piss me off, Tim. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah. But let's see. Go ahead, Emilio.
All I was going to say on that was, dude, if the problem is if we take Jordan Morgan out, who's our backup coming in? Is it Monk? Is it Telfer? So it's not like Jordan Morgan didn't get any burn. They were rotating him a lot. He did start last game. I think Jordan's bigger definitely than Musgrave. But I get you your point where we've only had Marshawn Lloyd on IR and then these two. So we're under 3 to 5 threshold. That's huge. But I do think that not having Morgan could be an issue. I really think it's probably going to be Monk on the inside that's going to be coming in, and Telford if anybody on the outside has an issue. But yeah. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, Emilio? Or I'm sorry, Tim?
No, just like we talked about, right? We want to avoid the musical chairs on that O-line and try and have a consistent O-line. We talked about that last night. Thank God we got Josh back out there. If we were down to center on top of this would really not be good for the O-line. So
right,
see what happens.
Yeah. Ron Samble in the chat says, Clayton, I think the Packers run between 35% and 40% on first down, considering our offense. What number makes sense? It's not so much our offense too, Ron, as it is the defense you're playing this week. And the thing that the Bears have struggled with the most has been the run. And it seems like the teams that they have beaten, they've allowed them to get themselves pulled into that trap of passing the ball. And obviously the Bears are third, I think, in the league in takeaways. So, and here's the thing too, that's not just interceptions. So when you're running the football, you're going to have to hold that thing high and tight. You got to throw that claw on it, right, Emilio? You got to make sure they can't strip that ball out. It's going to be huge because the only way I feel like the Bears really win this game is if you make mistakes and they capitalize on them. It's really that simple to me. Now they got a new OC, although he's been in the building, right? We'll see if much changes there. I think the route combinations will change significantly based off the tape I've seen here lately, and maybe they will lean on the run a little bit more. But that offensive line is not only banged up, but when they're healthy, they're pretty bad. So how much can they run the football? That's going to be the question. So it's just going to come down to playing fundamentally sound and making sure that you capitalize on all your opportunities. Listen, this is going to be one of those days. Don't get too aggressive too, man. If you get in field goal range, take that field goal. You know what I mean? Every point you score is going to put more pressure on Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams is going to, at least up to this point, hasn't shown he can handle that pressure. I don't know if that makes sense, Tim. What do you think?
I agree. Points are the primary objective, right, of this game. And it's tempting, especially once you cross midfield, right? You start getting into your opponent's territory, and you get a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2. You're kind of tempted to maybe run a little razzle dazzle jet sweep double reverse nonsense, and I just hope we don't do it. We got McManus, right? We know he's money inside of 50 yards. So
right,
and it's supposedly not that windy in the windy city today. So hopefully the kicking game is on point for us, and we do take 3. However, now if we're down in that green zone, right, you get a 4th and 1 inside the 5, maybe you do try and punch it in the end zone. And if you don't get in, you force Caleb to try and go, 95 yards down the field on your defense. I'm okay with being aggressive down in the red zone, but I'm with you, Clay. We got to take it at any point that's available.
Yeah. The game is going to be set around our offensive line, and if we can get push, I think that's going to be huge against their D line, and that leads right into where Clayton's talking about running the ball on first and continuing to run it on the later downs. I mean, how many times have we seen Matt run a drive where it's 3 runs and we get a first down? 2 4s and a 3 or something like that. Yep. It's not very often. I'd like to be able to we don't have to do it the whole game. Let me just tell the guys that, hey, we can do this. We have a team that can run the ball 3 times if we need a first down, just to put that in the mental note kind of thing. And to Ron's point, I'd be happy with the opposite of that, 55-60% on first, just to see where we're at. As long as we're getting 3 to 4 yards a pop on first down, I don't think that's going to put you in a disadvantaged spot. And if they can't stop it, keep hammering it, right? If they can't stop it, keep using it. Make them make a decision, make a change, bring a safety down, put 8 in the box. Then bam, there goes your play action, and we're off and racing. That's all we're asking for.
That's when you get away from the run on first down, right? When you see them creep up and they're waiting for you to run it again. Now we get that play action boot going.
And you almost want to be kind of sidearmed with RPOs within the game plan as well. And what I mean by that is if you come out with your run plays and try to attach an RPO to it, a run pass option, to maybe 70-80% of your run calls, that way if they do load the box, typically what happens is when they load the box, the corners will back off. And when the corners back off, whether you're in a trips or a twin set, on that side, you can throw those RPO bubbles. You can throw those RPO flats. Now what happens is those corners have to come play up. And when they come play up, now you're setting yourself up for the shot play. That's assuming they load the box with 8 to stop the run. So I would like to see a significant amount of RPOs attached to every run call today. That's just me. So give you kind of another answer to that loaded box that you were talking about, Emilio. All good in the chat says success is no penalties and no drops in the red zone. If we were good in the red zone, we would have highest scoring offense, hands down. It's a great point. It bit them in the ass against Detroit too. There was not just the penalties in the red zone, but also the botched snaps. Remember that one drive? There was back-to-back botched snaps that killed a drive where they were on the move big time. So I think that issue would be fixed. 2 reasons. Obviously, Josh Myers is back at center. And the other thing is it's not going to be a downpour. They're predicting for like 58 degrees, 10-mile-an-hour wind, mostly cloudy to cloudy skies, I think is what they're saying. So the sun may peek through a couple of times, but this is perfect football weather right here, man. No doubt.
Yep. I think the one thing to watch early, whether we're talking about, Josh coming off the injury, back in the lineup, that's a good thing. We haven't played ball in a couple weeks. So starting fast is extremely important. But I think if you're going to make mistakes in this game, it's probably going to come early because you're trying to get your legs and playing speed, going again after the bye week. And, I had said this last week that, the Bears, this is their second home game in a row. So they've been at home. They've been playing football. They've been practicing. They've been dealing with the dumpster fire that is their organization. However, they're in football mode. They're in football speed. Not to say the Packers aren't, but, I'm not going to say rust. I just think that, the guy's got to get the wheels turning early. And if you're going to make your mistakes or, miss a read or something, do it early, get it out of your system and get your head back in that football game going forward.
Yeah, completely agree. Now, on Fox NFL Sunday, they just put a stat up on the screen. The last game versus the Bears there last year, Jordan Love completed 84.4% of his passes. So, listen, this is still a Matt Eberflus defense. Now, they're playing much better this year than they did last year, but history would say that the Packers have played this Matt Eberflus defense pretty well, right? Even when he first got to Green Bay. And again, I would like to go back. I did not go back and watch the last game we played against the Bears. It felt like it was forever ago. But I'm wondering if there were some RPOs attached to that with how they like to play that zone defense. So maybe we could check that out later. The other thing, too, to mention that all good here in the chat mentioned about the penalties. Emilio, we covered this earlier in the week. The referees that we have this week have thrown like the 4th fewest amount of flags, right?
Love that.
So
Absolutely love that. But I've just been harping on it because I think it's a mental thing that they're making those kind of mistakes. I get it. A hold here and there if the dude's got you beat kind of thing. But, false starts, those sort of things that'll put you, where a 3rd and 3 puts you to 3rd and 9 on the 30. It's like, we can't be having that. That'll kill the red zone. That'll kill everything that we're trying to do, moving this offense. So then that gets you out of your, you run the ball on 2nd down, get 5 yards or whatever, ready to go. And then we can't run the ball anymore. We fall behind. So I think Matt needs to keep, I love that Jordan has all the can ability that he does, that he knows the offense in the back of his hand. Sometimes Matt just needs to reel him in a smidge and just say, hey man, we just need to get this, like how Bill would pop in there to the OC. Hey, let's throw a run in here. Hey, Jordan, let's run this play. I got this one dialed up kind of thing.
Yeah. And it could be like the original call was, let's say it was a 22 zone RPO flat. Hey, Jordan, listen, forget the flat. Let's just run here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like if that was the call coming out.
But go with carry out your fake. You know what I mean? Like sell it. I mean, like peel out of there if it looks like it and we can see it like we went back to it with the other one, that'd be ideal.
Yep. Because even on plays, it might be a 1 yard gain on one of those RPOs, but you're still gathering information. How did the defense approach it, both pre-snap and post-snap, right?
We did that 2 games ago with that with the slot wheel.
Yep. Absolutely. Ron Samble in the chat says, fill the ball clean on punts, please. Yes. That is that. And as Greg Rice says, patience is the order of the day. Just again, man, don't go out there trying to boat race anybody, man.
Yeah.
Play the game, play the hand that's dealt, and get out of there with a dub, man. That's my kind of my rule of thumb today. Prince in the chat, McManus and Whelan, let's go. Daniel Whelan, man, I'm telling you, you don't get caught up because you're right at the 50-yard line and it's a 4th and 1 and okay, we're going to go for it. I'm telling you, let Daniel Whelan.
Yeah, drop that thing on the 2-yard line for us real quick.
Put Caleb Williams dropping back in his own end zone. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Right? And again, listen, if the Packers come out, they take the ball first, they go down, score, they stop the Bears, get the ball back, they score again, you're going to be firing up blitzes. But if the game's close, just bring 4 and make Caleb Williams throw into 7, really what I would refer to as 7.5, because you got that guy underneath kind of playing that touch spy. Like, that's the way you should approach this. Yep. Now, you might want to come out on the openers and pin your ears back and get after him and then go to the touch spy approach. You could do it that way as well. But I'm with you on
a pretty heavy dose of Tampa 2 thrown in there today. Wouldn't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. With him coming out and reading the play, especially the way we're running invert Tampa 2 and really just Tampa 2, but we're bringing X down on the line of scrimmage and showing a safety blitz, and then he's back covering deep half. Right. I guarantee you Trevor Lawrence, when he threw that interception on the right hash, he went, where the hell did he come from?
Yeah.
He was literally
just right in front of your face. You forgot about him.
He was blitzing me just now, and he's back deep half, picking the ball off. What is going on? So,
and that's that eye game. You got to play that eye game with the rookie QB. And Clay, how much NASCAR do you think we're going to get? I think Hafley's going to kind of lean on it just from what he saw last game. Put it in the hopper. What can we do with it? Sort of thing.
I think it depends on how quick they jump out. If they could jump out to an early lead, yeah, I feel a little bit better about it. But with the new OC, what if they come out and say we're gonna commit to running the ball 30 times in this game, and then you're in NASCAR, you could get gashed. That's me. That's the only thing that makes me a little bit concerned, because Shane Waldron was kind of balls to the wall, wide open offense type approach. There was typically 3 deep shots on these plays. That's what I was talking about when I went back and watched the tape. Listen, Caleb's holding on to the ball too long. There's no 2 ways about it. You can throw it away and play another down. But there was multiple times he dropped back to pass, and I'm like, he has nothing. He's got literally a go route, a deep corner, and a 22-yard dig, and everything's covered. He is up the creek without a paddle to keep this PG-13 here. So, but I'm definitely on board here with Prince as far as special teams. Let Whelan have a day out there and keep them in a bad spot on the field. Roger Davis, no turnovers to give them a short field or worse. Amen. Got to protect the football. And Rail in the chat, good to see you, buddy. He says they'll probably send Nixon on that blitz. And if they do, what's cool is we've seen this in the past. When they fire that safety or that nickel blitz, they're only bringing 4 and still dropping 7 into coverage. I am completely on board with that kind of blitz today. fire zone, all that stuff in the middle. Drop one backer down the seam in that Tampa 2 that Emilio was talking about and Tim was talking about, and then bring the other backer on a fire there if you do want to bring 5. So
get the pressure without having to all out sell out on defense, right?
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's see here. A couple other things I wanted to hit on. We kind of hit on it last night, but just a quick refresher of what's on the line today. PFF had tweeted this out. The teams with the most at stake this week of football. Number 1 on the list is the Green Bay Packers. If they beat the Bears today, they have an 80% chance of making the playoffs. If they lose, it drops to 48%. This is why I see that number and I go, this is the playoffs today. This is your shot at really putting yourself in the driver's seat for one of those wild card spots, unless the Lions and the Vikings kind of crap the bed and you can maybe take over the North a little later in the year. But don't get cute. Don't get crazy. I'm not saying you can't run a jet sweep, but don't get cute. Run the football, stay with the run, and let them beat themselves. The Bengals are second here with the win, 47% chance of making the playoffs. With the loss, it drops all the way down to 16%. 49ers with the win increases their playoff chances to 71%. With the loss, it drops to 40%. Colts, 45% with the win, drops to 15% with the loss. The Broncos, 58% with the win, 32% with the loss. And then the Chargers, 93% with the win, only 68% with the loss. So
playoffs.
So obviously, man, there is a lot on stake, at stake, I should say, for this game today, man.
Yeah, like you said, Clay, this is a playoff game right here. We can't go 0-3 in the division. That's not going to happen. We can't go in there and lose to the Bears. I don't think Matt wants that to be the case. I don't think any of the players want that to be the case. But why not make it easier on your life moving forward in these next few weeks? You're going to play against San Fran. You're going to play against Seattle, a couple of NFC opponents. Where are they going to be sitting? If San Francisco loses, all right, maybe then if we go play them, we take a loss or something. We're still in good standings. We got to get this one taken care of today. Absolutely.
I mean, at best, all we can do is split with our other division rivals at this point, right? We've already dropped one to the Vikings, one to the Lions. Be nice to beat the Bears twice, and catch up and get these other dubs against divisional rivals. So we only have those 2 divisional losses at the end of the year. So you're absolutely right, man. This game is, for all intents and purposes, it's a playoff game. Yeah. Really, for both teams. I mean, the Bears desperately need a win too. So should be good football today. And having the officiating crew that we have, the crew that seems to let the kids play, as they say, this could be a real entertaining ball game today if we're not getting a lot of flags thrown and they're just letting them play. So looking forward to it.
And let's see what else we got in the chat here. As you see Jordan Love warming up on the field there at Soldier Field. Man, looks good, ready to roll. I'm excited to see what he does today. Again, be that game manager today, man. You don't have to go out there and be a hero, no doubt. Nick McSwain in the chat. Linebackers need to cover Cole Kmet. He's a decent tight end. He is probably having the most success of anyone on that offense as far as a target standpoint for Caleb Williams this year. And keep in mind, they're going to try to run a little play action too. They're going to try to get those backers biting up. Again, just keep everything kind of in front of you and make Caleb Williams. What Caleb Williams has shown me on tape, and Emilio, we watched a little bit of tape earlier in the week with this. He's showing me that he won't take that immediate check down. He's looking for something bigger, and then he tries to come back to the check down. By that time, it's 4, 5, 6 seconds have gone by, and he's getting hit in the pocket. I think you try to force him to take those check downs all day long, don't you think?
I think so too. Put a shell over the top. That's what he looked for in USC. Was he always wanted that big play, scramble around, wait for the scramble drill and the corners to break down, get 3 steps behind him, get shook or whatever, throw the deep ball, and now you're a hero. But sometimes you got to take what's there. I mean, open in the NFL is 1 second, make a decision. You got 3 yards on him, that's open. So if that underneath drag to the tight end is there, you got to get rid of it, dump it away. But he probably relies on him more as like a relief valve in in panic situations as well. So I don't know. I think we just got to keep him looking downfield and keep the rush in his face. Try to keep him in that pocket as much as we can, and we know he's going to scramble. And just keep your lanes, keep your contain.
We could say some of the same things about Jay Money too. You know, there's times he'll overlook that swing pass or that check down and try and get to that second or third read and take the kill shot.
Right.
Kind of like you're saying, Clay, maybe just manage that game. Let's Peyton Manning this thing today and just hit that guy in stride and keep that offense moving forward. You know, I don't care if it's 1 to 2 yards at a time, then it's 8 yards, 10 yards, 6 yards. You know, we don't have to go for the kill shot on every play. So hopefully Jordan's got that mentality today, and I think he does after the last few games that he's had. I think coming out of the bye, he's probably settled in now and as healthy as he's going to be. Hopefully we see him under center more today. Should be a good look for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys would take a quick second, hit that like button for us, help boost the algorithm. Feel free to sub to the channel. We appreciate y'all making us a part of your pregame festivities here as we get ready to kick off against the Chicago Bears. We're roughly 1 hour away from kickoff, so it's getting here quick. Just excited to have Emilio here, man.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm telling you, man. When I seen you hop in before Tim, I went, "What? Did the rapture hit? What happened? What are we doing here? Did I miss something?" So,
Yeah.
Prince in the chat says, "Really hoping the Seahawks can get a road win at San Francisco." Amen to that. When you look at the games that are on tap today, and the one he's talking about specifically, that 4 o'clock window, you got the Seahawks at the 49ers. And obviously, if we can drop this down, let me get this one off here. You can see with the standings there, what he's talking about is you want these teams to continue to beat each other up, right? So the Seahawks sitting at 4-5, San Fran sitting at 5-4. If the Seahawks can somehow, some way get a win there, that's going to help the Packers in their hunt for the wild card as we get a little later in the year here. I'm almost to the point now, guys, where I just want all these division winners, these division leaders, run away with it now, and everyone else lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Totally agree.
Then you at least know where you're heading with it, right? Keep San Fran out of it. If they've been our Achilles heel, why not just take them out of the picture altogether? I'm totally fine with that. Like you said, Arizona, just take off and run with it. Seattle, if we can get you a win here, then we're 5-5 going into that San Fran game. We're 2 games up. That would be ideal. And like we were looking there, that Bengals Chargers game, Clay, with Bengals winning, what were they, just under 50%? Chargers winning, man, they absolutely are running away with it. 93% with a win.
Yep.
So that's a big game as well.
This is the best time of the year, man. It really is, because you can start to key in on other games that have, playoff implications attached to the Green Bay Packers. And it's like every game gets heightened from here on out. I love it, man. The second half of the NFL season is great. And shout out to Nerding on NFL for this awesome graphic. Tim, anything?
Like we've talked about, man, the amount of teams that are either 8-2, 7-3 versus the amount of teams that are 3-6 or 2-7 is absolutely out of hand. There's just such a difference this year. Like, I don't understand what the discrepancy is.
Right. No, I completely agree. And when you look at the playoff, kind of the playoff picture as it sits right now, you've got the Detroit Lions in the 1 seed, the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2 seed, Atlanta Falcons 3 seed, Arizona Cardinals 4 seed. The 5th seed is the Vikings, 6th seed is the Commanders, and the 7th seed is the Green Bay Packers. So if the playoffs were to start today, that opening round, you would have the Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. You would have the Washington Commanders at the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings at the Arizona Cardinals. Now, again, a lot of that can shake up. We kind of hit it earlier. A lot of games from here on out are going to have just huge implications on the playoffs. If you look at just the standings alone, obviously you got the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles, Atlanta Falcons, Arizona Cardinals, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, and the Washington Commanders all in those playoff spots. Right below them, you have the San Francisco 49ers, which is what we were talking about, hoping that the Seahawks can knock them off, because the 49ers sitting at 5-4. The Seahawks are at 4-5. Obviously, you beat the Bears today. You're going to knock them down if you can make that happen. We're rooting against the Rams, and we're rooting against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today, as well as we kind of look at that schedule again. Rams and Buccaneers, we want to lose today. It looks like the Rams are at New England, so it's going to be tough for them to lose that game. And then, of course, the Buccaneers, are they on a bye? They are on a bye this week. So Rams, keep your eye on that Rams game at 1 o'clock and see if somehow, some way the Patriots can knock them on down. And, of course, we want the Vikings and the Lions to lose in this 1 o'clock window, but let's be realistic, guys. You got the Jaguars at Detroit, and then you got Minnesota going down into Tennessee. Emilio, you've seen that firsthand. Tim, wasn't much of a contest down there, bro. It was just by the second quarter, it was like we were at Lambeau partying, and I may or may not have had a little too much of Captain Morgan on my shoulder there that day. I don't know.
That was a good time. They really weren't much of a challenge there, and I'm hoping that they show up today somehow, right? And knock them down a peg, and I'll take it. But no, it's a beautiful, beautiful stadium, man. We're getting working on that new one. But the Titans are having a rough season, and I was listening to that install Clay with Greg Cosell, man, and it was just like he's just Will Levis, if he can play, he's got to play. Just you got to know what you have in him, and then the Colts are running into the same thing with Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
If Flacco's that bad, what are we doing keeping him out there when Richardson's the one that needs to figure it out? But I think that the Vikings, if they could go down there and take an L, that would be huge.
Tim, literally 20 feet away from the Titans stadium, they're building this new one. And you guys know I hate domes. I hate indoor stadiums with a passion, man. It's like football should be played outside. That day we were down there, I was like, boy, 67 degrees air conditioner right now wouldn't be too bad because it was it was hotter than a $2 pistol in Jacob's basement. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, and the sombrero was not helping. Let me tell you what, that thing was.
Oh man, he must have been smoldering.
Containing the heat is what it was doing.
Oh, it's bad. Something else to keep an eye on today. PFF Green Bay Packers had tweeted this out. Tucker Kraft has a plus matchup when lined up inline versus the Chicago defense. The Bears have allowed the fourth most receiving yards to inline tight ends this season. That's an area Kraft thrives as he ranks third in receiving yards from inline alignments. He's that true Y playing attached. When you hear that inline alignments, it just simply means he is going to be playing attached to the offensive line is typically what that means rather than flexed out. It's going to be a big day for Tucker Kraft, gang. What do you think about it there? As far as if you are going to get the passing game going, and they are, a really, really good pass coverage defense, the one area that they struggle in is obviously trying to cover tight ends that are attached.
Let's go. Let's build off that run game, right? Like Matty says, right?
No block, no rock.
Let's get it going, get the momentum, and then, open it up. We know Tuck Norris is a master of engaging a blocker, breaking free, and going into a route. He's also great at running a route, but making it look like he's downfield blocking. He has ways of playing games with these defenders. You almost want to take that defense's strength and flip it on them, turn it into a weakness. If we can get the Bears in a position where they're loading up or over pursuing, or they're trying to send too many resources towards our tight ends, that's just going to open things up for guys like Jaden Reed and Scoot and our receiver corps. So I say let's play with Tuck Norris attached a lot. You got to think Matt LaFleur knows this. You got to think he's got a few gifts in that game plan today for Tuck Norris. So I'm looking forward to see it.
Definitely. Yeah. One thing that sticks out, Emilio, that comes to mind when you talk about them playing attached, playing inline. Obviously, you got Tucker Kraft here. And just to give a quick diagram of what we're talking about, now that Jordan is fully healthy, you want to see him under center more in what we call an ace set here, single back set. Imagine a little play action, right? A little play action, set up shop, running back on a shoot route, okay? And then you get these backers. The goal is to get these backers pulling up on that run, right? Everybody biting on that run. And Tucker Kraft, just a little mesh play right here. That's what he's really, really thrived at. Little double tight end mesh, or you can keep that tight end to block and run a little crosser there, right? And what you're looking for are those two windows being open for Tucker Kraft. You get those backers to bot. This is their weak spot, guys, is tight ends playing attached to the offensive line. That's where they're giving up a ton of yards to tight ends underneath.
I'm just happy you brought that picture up. Can you circle my man right there up at the top with the little right there at the top of the wing? Here? No, one down. Right? Oh. Yes, sir. Thank you. If we're talking about tight ends and we're not going to be talking about my man Ben Sims out there, and you don't think he's going to get a couple passes this game? Come on now. What's this? We got
you think we'll see a lot of this? 21?
Ace double wing. What's it? Ace double wing nasty right here.
Now it's Ben Sims. It was actually DeGuara. This is an old picture.
Oh, okay. Well, he put the dot over.
I thought he should be bigger, right?
But okay, so theoretically, drop my man Ben Sims in there, I think he's going to have a big game too. If you look at it, Tucker Kraft's obviously going to have a big game if they struggle against tight ends. But if they know that Tucker Kraft's coming out there and not going to get tackled by the first DB, maybe they bracket him, maybe they have a hook curl or something around him, and that means Ben Sims needs to step up. I'm not afraid of him catching the ball. He can do it. Turn up field and make Tucker proud and just turn this tight end room into that's their motto in general. I'm fine with that.
I'm glad you brought that up because I feel the same way. I think there's a lot of things that, Ben Sims can do that Tucker Kraft does too. There's a lot of similarities, two different players, obviously, but I don't think it's unreasonable to ask Ben Sims to do the things that we ask Tucker Kraft to do. I think they're both really talented.
No, I agree, man. I think that Ben Sims, like I said, man, I've talked about it ad nauseum. He's impressed the heck out of me this year. Nothing's too big for him as far as what he's asked to do. We've seen him check all the boxes. We've seen him run the wheel route, that intermediate to deep pass, good body control, turn around, catching a low ball, and still getting some yak afterwards. We've seen him run the flat play where he picked up like 11 yards, great body control, caught it, got his head around quick enough, was able to get the ball inside the first down pylon to move the sticks there. We've also seen him pancake block when we go to 12 condensed sets. He can block inside. As Emilio says, he can block. I think 2-0 for this nails it right here, hits it on the head. Ben is the perfect symmetry for Tucker. They just look like they gel really well together. And I'm not trying to dog Luke Musgrave, but it just feels like Ben Sims is built and plays more similar to Tucker Kraft as opposed to Musgrave being more of that flex guy, right? Like a large wide receiver type player. So when we get him back and you basically 3 starting caliber players playing tight end for you, that's Ben Sims has a better PFF grade than Tucker Kraft does this year, which is just wild. Right. So go ahead, hit what you got.
Nick
there.
McSwain, tight end league, please. Yes, definitely. Yes. Greg Rice, I want to see a Sim Kraft dance in the touchdown celebration again. Hilarious. I'm not mad at that. And then right here, Nathan had a question for you, Clayton. Honestly, what do you think about Zach Tom on a go route? Walk him out there, give me the double swipe, sir, I'm eligible, and then
long as we flex Tucker Kraft over to right tackle
to cover.
Here's what I want to see happen. I want it to be 4th and 1. All right, I know we were just talking about play it safe, but play it long.
He's been thinking about this for a week.
4th and 1, you've got Jordan in the gun, right? Tucker motions over to do the cheese squeeze, right? Yep. What we call it here. He gets under center like he's going to take it like the tush push, but instead he drops back, and Tom is reported eligible and hits Tom for a 78-yard touchdown.
I heard it from a fan right here.
Yard.
Could you imagine Tom?
Yards.
Oh, boy. Unbelievable. But we see here Green Bay Packers tweeted out X on the field, as he said, X for your X. Love it. I see what they did there. Obviously, Xavier McKinney, man, go get you another interception today. What do you think? Go get another interception. I want to see him finish as the top graded safety. It kind of feels like if he hits that 8 to 11 interception range, you got to put him in the conversation for player of the year, don't you? Defensive player of the year. Got to. I mean, Charles Woodson had 9, and you guys remember when we talked about this earlier in the year? I was like, yeah, Woodson had 9, but he also had sacks. And then Xavier McKinney gets a sack like 2 games later. So I don't think he's got recovery. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's just, God, what a signing by Goot, man. Absolutely awesome, dude. We need to go back sometime and pull that clip from when we were covering free agency that day and we were talking about X is our guy. Like, let's go get X. And listen, boys, I was screaming it all week, and I didn't think there was a chance in Hades that we were going to sign Xavier McKinney. And lo and behold, it was like the first one out of the gate, wasn't it?
Yep.
So, absolutely awesome to have him on the Green Bay Packers. No doubt about that. What do you guys think? Do you think that one thing that Caleb Williams has done well, if you want to call it doing something well, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. He's been protecting the football a lot, but he's been taking a ton of sacks and losing that yardage, obviously.
He also hasn't been throwing any touchdowns.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's just kind of dropping back, getting hit after holding the ball for 5 seconds.
He's going through the VR motions, Clay. He's got the Oculus on, and he's just getting absolutely lit up.
Have you guys seen some of those videos of people just smashing their face on the wall?
Right? The TV would be destroyed. My TV would be destroyed if I had that thing.
Exactly. Anything else you boys want to hit on before we get ready to wrap this big bear up here in a second? We got probably 10, 15 more minutes. Is there anything we haven't covered that you think, hey, I'd like to
I just wanted to read off that stat that Lombardi pulled on the GM shuffle. Caleb is for 20-yard passes, he's 3 of 19. 30-yard passes, he's 3 of 12. 40-yard passes, he's 1 of 3. That's 7 of 34. 20% is where he is throwing the ball over 20 yards.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Hey, come on. What are we doing here? If they push the ball 20 yards down the field, and that's what this coordinator is all about. I don't see them doing very well today. But like Clayton said, you think that it's going to be switched up. Maybe Caleb can throw a 7-yard out. Maybe they can do a speed out. Maybe he can hit him on a whip route or something like that and get the ball moving. But they need to get the ball out of his hand faster if they want to have any kind of success. And that means our D-line needs to, if they're not there, get your hands up and be ready for him to pump and run, because I feel like he's going to do that the rest of the game too.
Yeah. We can get him to do that if we're stout against the run, right? If we stay disciplined against that run.
Yeah, force him into
trying to, make plays with his arm and take those shots and let our secondary do what it does best, which is get picks and PBUs. So I'm with it. It's going to come down to how we play in the trenches and how we play against the run, I think.
Right. Get up with a lead. If we get up with a lead, let the D-line tee off. And I think that would be huge too. We got rid of Preston. We have, we have Mosby and Brenton Cox ready to play. They need some reps. Let's get up with a little bit of lead, rotate the hockey line of the D-line, and just let them go to work. Let them get those reps in and just get better and keep Hafley moving with this defense.
I agree.
Completely agree. As far as the Tucker Kraft, we were talking about him potentially having a big day. Here are his 5 touchdown catches. I believe there's 5 on the docket here, just to kind of see how he scored these. There's the RPO flat, obviously stiff arm to Harrison Smith for the touchdown there against the Vikings at Lambeau. It's thick. Just the Yak King. Next play, this is against the Rams here. Let's see if we can find him. So he's attached right here. Remember, we were talking about mesh plays and some of those crossers. Let's see what we got here. There's a little cheat motion to bunch. Nope. There it is. See it? See the double crosser? Wide open on the backside along the sideline. That's the type of stuff you're going to want to see from Tucker Kraft today. Little baby stiff arm.
Because what allowed that? It was 2nd and 6, probably a 4-yard run on first down. So then you come back with another run, play action, even if it was an orbit fake on the run. Play action, bam, hit it.
Good high-low concept there, too, on that one.
Yes.
Killing it. Yep.
Yeah. And here we are again inside the red zone, inside the 10, looking at about the 7 or 8 yard line. Here he is attached. This is inline, what we're talking about, the Bears struggle to cover against our inline tight ends. A little tight end screen. Says, the hell with the blockers. I'm going to do it myself.
Yep. Just forget about him. You lose him. If he's in there blocking, you go, okay, he's not my responsibility anymore. I'm doing this.
And this
and
is
for a dude his size, man, he gets them wheels turning quick. Once he gets that momentum, it is nearly impossible to tackle him.
No doubt. And this is the one right here, guys, that I would rather he stay away from today. But if they throw this one today, I'm going to scream louder than anyone, but stay away from it if you can. This is just an absolute dime piece here from Jordan Love. They gathered a little information. He's going to read cover 2 here. You'll notice the safety stay split. Watch Tucker Kraft. He's into number 3, so this is not attached. This is actually flexed out and just right down the seam. An absolute missile. God, what a catch, man. I'm telling you, man, I think he's legit got a chance to be a top 10, top 5 tight end in the league. I really do.
I do too. I wish the rest of the league would take notice of that. I feel like, I'm still seething over the National Tight Ends Day snub that they gave him. When our boy came out and balled out that day and showed why he deserves to be up there with George Kittle and Travis Kelce and all the other favorites in the NFL. Stop overlooking our boy Tuck Norris. I hope he has a big game today too, man.
So this here out of pistol, you're going to notice he's in line again, attached over here to the right. What a play call by Matt LaFleur. You're going to see a little RPR right here. So you're going to do a run pass option. Watch Tucker is going to engage like he's run block and then drop back for the pass. This is just Matt getting creative with Malik Willis under center here. Beautiful. I mean, just butt naked through the trailer park.
We talked about the ability of read option out of pistol is so key. Not that Jordan needs to do it all the time, just having that look.
Yep.
Watch the defenders crash in, both of them. Like, look, I'm going to try to pause it here. Look at everybody.
Yep.
He's got the ball, and everyone's running in this direction.
I mean,
great fake.
Just a sell. That's absolutely gorgeous.
Now you can't sell that if you're not running the football. You know,
right.
They were concerned about Josh Jacobs and also really Malik Willis too. You know, he's a threat to run on those plays as well. But beautiful design there, and you know that's what I'd like to see down there. You know, deep inside the red zone. You know, you didn't have you weren't running like 11 personnel with 5 receivers and jet sweeps. So
right,
exactly. Just play within the scheme. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to beat them by 30 points. Just go out there and let them make the mistakes, man. That would be the name of the game.
Start us on our journey to 4-2 in the division, and let's get it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. If you guys would take a quick second, hit that like button for us if you're watching here on YouTube. If you're joining us on Twitter, feel free to click on the link in my bio that'll send you to the YouTube channel. And we go live every day. We do pregame show, postgame show, everything in between. But we appreciate everybody supporting the channel. It's been a lot of fun this year, kind of growing the community with one another. Tim,
if you're joining us on the podcast, hop off, go over to your YouTube app, click on there, go over to Packers Total Access, click subscribe, and now we're cooking.
And this is going to blow your mind. If you're watching on YouTube and you listen to podcasts, scan that QR code in the upper right, and that'll send you to a multitude of platforms where you can actually subscribe to the Packernet podcast, where you can find this podcast as well as Ryan Schlip's Packernet podcast, flagship podcast, and Packernet After Dark, a call-in show for all the listeners. So, Tim, do you got anything else you want to hit on, bud? We're closing in here. The 30-minute mark. We like to be wrapped up 30 minutes before so everybody can grab my daddy's soda and get settled in. Anything else you want to hit on, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to add for the record.
The Bears still suck.
Very well said.
Clay, I'm hammering some of that Irish cream in the coffee. You know what I'm saying? That stuff was...
Emilio, that stuff will get you in trouble, man.
It does. No, it really does.
If I start drinking that Irish cream in my coffee before noon, I end up in the neighbor's yard with my shirt off. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with that stuff. You just find myself wandering around the block here.
Yeah, it's a 1 o'clock game. You'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us here for the pregame show. We're going to be back tonight for the postgame show immediately following the game. So we'll have all your news, notes, analysis. We'll have the box score to go through. We'll try to get some postgame pressers, everything like that. Want to give everybody plenty of time to go grab some grub, grab some drinks, settle in, and get ready to watch the game. I'm going to have the postgame show link created here in about 10 minutes. So if you guys want to hop in that postgame show, the chat is already open. You guys want to chat in there before the game, actually, or as the game is going on, and then we can kind of filter through that as we start the postgame show. We can approach it that way. So there you go, Greg Rice. Come chat in the postgame for PTA. It's really cool, man. I've got it pulled up every time. Where I'm charting the game, I don't have a whole lot of time to comment in there, but I love kind of keeping up with what everybody's saying. So it's like just an active running chat. There you go, Amy. I apologize, ma'am. She said, or a mommy soda.
That's very true. We can't be forgetting about that. Or a mommy loaded coffee. I don't know. A little Bailey's in the coffee. Yeah. Who cares?
The older I get, man, I lean toward more toward the mommy. So I mean, you see me down there, Emilio. I had a slushie with Captain William.
He really did. It was like the bright red. You know what I mean? His tongue was bright red afterwards. You got to try some of this, man. Little rum and coke.
The red upper lip. I looked like I was 12 years old, Tim. I was walking around
in there, wiping it off.
No wheezing the juice, man.
That's it, man. Got to do what you got to do, man. All right, we're out, guys. Appreciate y'all. We will see you for the post-game show. Special shout-out to our good friend Randy Steen for the Super Chat. Thank you, buddy. Thanks to everybody in our Patreon group as well. Appreciate y'all supporting the channel. We will see you immediately following the game. Let's go get this dub in Chicago, boys. Go Pack, go.